Well, hello, my friend. I have some food for thought today, and basically, it has to do with seeing and believing, and it goes something like this. Have you ever noticed how what you are seeing in the world, so seeing and therefore processing, thinking about internal dialogue, that little story going on in your head, okay? What you are seeing, of course, is telling you and showing you what you believe. So we end up saying seeing is believing, and the reverse is believing is what we see. And what we want to do here is use that not to micro analyze, oh, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? But to begin to see the theme, okay, of how what we are seeing and the story that it is perpetuating or producing in our mind, even though I'm pointing to my brain, right? Um, Very important dynamic here because most of the time we're on autopilot. Most of the time we're just simply seeing this stuff and reacting to it as if what we are seeing is causing us to have these feelings, okay? And nothing could be further from the truth. What we are seeing is reflecting back to us the thought processes that are ordering up the interpretation. What we see is what we believe. Now, for myself, the trick to that was trying to not figure out, oh my goodness, what was I just thinking? And was I just thinking something that produced the events and the circumstances that just occurred? Okay? And do I need to change that thought or those thoughts versus, and here's where it gets, let's save some time here, versus there is a thought system, there is an operating system. I'm not a computer guy, but there's an operating system. Basically, let's just say for this presentation, there are only two operating systems. They are both, if you will, closed systems. They're all encompassing. And as we are told somewhere along the line, what is all encompassing can have no opposite. So I think a trick, or certainly an insight for myself, was that the things that I see, okay, I back away from it, right? I notice the story, right? The internal story, right? The little monologue that's going on in there. And if I am not at peace, if I'm a little amped up, if I'm a little pissy, if I'm wanting to shoot the dogs across the street for yapping, okay, that's all part of the operating system that I have become one with by choosing that operating system to show me things, to keep me in that state of whatever I'm in. So, I am responsible for what I see in the sense that I see what I believe in the sense that I can only see the effects of the operating system that I have chosen, and not consciously, to engage in. It would be like I have given over the navigation skills to the pilot. All right, so the pilot comes out on the pilot boat, meets the ship off of Breton Point, and it's his or her responsibility to safely get the ship to the harbor, to the port, to the dock. Okay, I sign off. I'm now on autopilot, so to speak. A little pun there. What's interesting about this, though, is that as quickly as we can catch the glimpse of and realize that, I'm bitching, I'm complaining, I'm attacking, and when I am amped up because of that, I no longer need to micro analyze, oh, what was I thinking? I now simply need to say, whoa, wrong operating system. There's another way to see this. There's another operating system. And never shall the two meet. So the other day we were talking about the importance of making contact within your mind with the aspect of mind whose singular and sole, S-O-L-E and S-O-U-L, responsibility is to safely keep and maintain your memory of who you are in truth and where you came from. So if we're all time travelers, if we're all here in this dimension, traveling, and if that doesn't make sense, that's fine. And if that's too out there, that's fine. This is clearly not, a monologue for you, and that's fine. But if all of us have stepped into time, remember Billy Pilgrim has come unstuck in time? If all of us step into time, we have an operating system that then engages with all the mechanisms around us, central mechanisms, to perpetuate a story. Ups and downs, highs and lows, sine wave, the whole bit. There is always another operating system. Now, the reason I want to mention this today is because the other day I spoke about the forbidden memory, right? The memory of who we are in truth, the entity that I am in truth. The entity that I am in truth, and therefore the entity that you are in truth, capital T truth, is within that other operating system. How do we get to the place where we can choose that other operating system? Is there a technique, a trick? Are there tools to use? The first one is to recognize that the events that are occurring, the events that are producing the stuff that makes up the story in here, as I look at the people driving on the road or the people on the TV or the dude with the do, the Donald, I guess it is, regardless of the form, I mistakenly am giving those events causal attributes as if they, the things that I see, make me feel a certain way. No, it's already done. The operating system that the operating system that I am in, once again, the operating system that I am in, it's a closed system. But there is another choice. There is.